Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hurricane in My Life. I am Marie, and I talk about all things that relate to what a hurricane is in my life. That can be anything from events to emotions to things that feel catastrophic, even though they really aren't, and just overall life experiences and things that I enjoy. So sit back, have a little coffee, a little water, most likely better for you, as we know. It's very important to get your 64 ounces in. So, like I said, get something to drink and sit back and relax and just listen to me talk to myself, really. Maybe have a guest or two sooner or later. Love you all. Blessings and peace always. Hey y'all, much love, peace, all the good things in the world. Today's topic, or I should say this week's topic, is one that's hit me pretty hard this last week and a half. I apologize for not having a podcast this past Saturday. My bad. Really sorry about that. I have had a very mentally funky past month and not very speedy on the keeping up with my podcast. However, I'm out of my funk. I feel like anyway. So I'm going to make the best I can with what I have and the tools that I have and the mentality that I have. I'm recording this with Miss Daphne next to me. Yeah. She's a little extra close lately. I'm only home this whole summer. Well, this whole month of... the past month of July. Daphne just fell off the bed. 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. Daphne is fine. She just rolled off my bed. My bed is actually not that high off the ground. It's maybe like a couple inches off the ground, actually. Just big enough to slide. Not very much under it, actually. And her being a 6-year-old domestic cat, Calico to be exact, she is not a small little girl. If you've seen pictures of her, if you know me personally and you met her, you know she's actually a very big girl. Last time she was weighed was about 3 years ago, and at that point she weighed 17 pounds. I'm pretty sure she's lost not all of that, obviously, but a good portion of it, and she's not very, let's say, no, it's not even vertically challenged. She's horizontally challenged, really and truly, she is. And of course, she's just kind of somewhat under my bed, under my headboard, so she's got a bunch of little fuzzies and whatnot that are underneath my bed that I can't quite get to without moving my bed, so I will be having to get that out of her tail when I'm done. Yay me. Anyway, today's topic is about hurts and what it's like for me to go to other people about my hurts and what is good for me self-care wise, what's good for me to talk about it, whether it be with my therapist or the person that actually hurt me. I actually struggle going to the people that hurt me and talking to them about it and making them aware that they were mean or douchebag or a jerk or an asshole. Well, not so much an asshole. I'm actually pretty good about, calling people when they do that. But I'm not always good at dealing with people that have anger issues. If they blow their top very easily, I do not deal with that very well. I don't mix with that person. I actually shy away from that kind of person personally. I don't like confrontation at all. And when I start it, I feel very, very guilty. You can ask anybody that truly knows me. I hate dealing with negativity in any aspect. And this is not a perfect world, nor will it ever be. So controversy and whatnot will be, at the forefront of, a lot of things in life. Well, how do I move forward from that? Very good question, if that's what you're wondering. I struggle moving forward from that. Just this past week, I had someone privately come to me and ask me what I had for business goals, and they look at business goals as having a dollar sign attached to it. I hate dollar signs, I really do. I really truly wish the world would go back to working on bargaining for things, and go back to you do something for me, I'll do something for you, kind of. That's just how I roll. Obviously born in the wrong period of time, right? So how do I move forward? Well, I overanalyze. I really do. I overthink. I question every move I make. I question every judgment call I make. I talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about it with different people that I can trust, and I know that they understand where I'm coming from. They understand what my end goal is. They know that, I'm not trying to make 6 figures a year. Just being that I have a disability, and with my benefits and stuff like that, I would not be able to make a 6-figure or more career anyway. At least a month. So, some people can make that and not be penalized and not have to worry about losing their healthcare. That's my biggest concern, is losing my healthcare. Because if you lose Social Security, at least in the state of Wisconsin, if anything were to happen, it takes 2 months for the, process, sometimes more, but sometimes not really more, but 2 months to get everything back on track and make sure you have, at least a steady income. But, like I said, I have to stay with under a certain amount, or I would lose my health care. And if I lose my health care, that would mean I would be crap out of luck for my braces, my wheelchair, any other maintenance needed for my assistive technology and devices that I need to be able to live a successful, independent life that I have. When it comes to having a shower chair, that cost is completely out of my own pocket. And actually, a lot of times my parents, ever since I've moved out anyway, every time I've replaced it, pretty much my parents have bought it. With the exception of, somehow I gained 2 of them from neighbors that had a loved one that passed away, that they were in really, really good condition. So, or they didn't need it anymore, and they were actually just gonna toss it. It's like, no, that could be used again. I mean, if you're really afraid of things, just douse it really good with bleach or Pine Sol or whatever you want, okay? It's not that big a deal. Just my own personal opinion. And that's the other thing. Like, why do people have to disagree with someone to the point where they feel like they will argue and debate their points to make sure that you're on the same side as them? I mean, it's not even healthy to do. For one, it's not healthy for relationships, and it's not healthy for the other person, or yourself, really. You know, that's totally a one-sided street, and why do people have to live that way? I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe someone out there can put some light on that. But hey, I will not engage in a debate. It's just not going to happen. I mean, once in a while, if I'm caught off guard and I'm in the mood to be like, okay, you want to debate? Let's debate. Heck yeah, I will. But I usually try not to do that because it just royally affects my chi. That's not worth it. So, with that being said, what are some hurts that you have had? Let me know. You can let me know on my Facebook, which is Sweet Thoughts Marie, by Marie, or you can email me, sweetmariethoughts2022@outlook.com. You can also find me on Twitter at CTurtles_2021, or 221, not 2021, 221. Let's see, what else? The other big thing I wanted to say is, if you just need someone to talk to, need someone to listen, not really put their 10 cents into what is on your heart, on your mind, you know, I hope you can find that one person. If you can't, I'm always willing to listen to people. Sometimes I do take on their hearts a little bit more than what I should, just because I'm a very caring person and I don't like to see others hurting. That's one of my biggest downfalls on that part. But I'm working on myself with that, with my counselor, and I'm applying that to my relationships and friendships and stuff like that. And to let you all know, I will be making an episode probably in the near future, probably within the next week or two, about just friendship, like what the definition of a friend is to myself. And maybe I will look up the actual definition of a friend or friendship. Maybe I'll look up both, but then I will define them in my both terms in my own words in the next week or two, as that's a big thing that comes up with my social medias, with people private messaging me and then getting angry because I don't answer back, or maybe I do and I'm not willing to engage with the types of topics that they want of me, and I need to put up a boundary, and I've been doing pretty good about putting up a boundary. If you get the automatic thank you for contacting me, I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or whatever it says, I have it there on purpose because of the hurtful things that people can come up with and say, and that's from me putting up a type of boundary that will not be allowed to be crossed, will not be allowed to step over. There will be no making it smaller in any fashion. And I will not apologize for that, because I need to feel safe. I need to feel confident. And it's just like my best friend told me the other day. She's like, you know what? You could put all the blogs out there you want. You could put all the podcasts out there you want. You could put all the books out there that you want into the world. She goes, you're going to always have at least one, maybe two, maybe more, maybe not. But you're going to have someone that's not going to like your words. And you got to be okay with that. And she's absolutely right. And I know that. Deep down, I do know that. Telling my freaking mental stability that is a whole nother thing, people. It really is. It's like a whole nother situation. It's a whole nother topic, which I can probably talk about in the next couple of weeks as well. Just touching on being okay with having vulnerabilities and not wanting them to be crossed, or maybe just not even the fact of not wanting them to be crossed, because I am touching on boundaries tonight in this episode. But I'm really struggling with how to approach this subject, so that way I have like a peace of mind, because oh my goodness, people, I have been trying to start a blog for the past probably at least month. I have said twice now in the month of July that I would post a blog about different topics. I have yet to do that. I actually have not even typed it out through my laptop, through my iPod, through my phone, whatever. However I choose to do it, I have not done it. I have notes about it in my journal, but I have not physically done it. Why? Because I have this gigantic fear right now of other people crapping on my thoughts, my words, my me. And usually I don't care so much what other people say or think of me. At least that's what I say. But really, deep down, I want people to like me. I want to be liked. I want to be loved. I want to be a go-to person for people. And realistically, that's not always going to happen. So I know a couple of things that I'm working on right now with my therapist is, the things that trigger me, the things that trigger my emotions. I've been able to identify my emotions. Like right now, my biggest thing that has triggered me in the last couple weeks is other people crapping on my ideas. And I apologize for how much I'm using bad words in this episode. I really am sorry. Whew. But it really sucks to have people crap on my ideas and be like, oh, no. If you want to be successful in life, you have to think this way, you have to talk this way, you have to do this, or you're not going to succeed. Since when are you an expert? Like, in the moment, I'm like so dumbfounded and caught off guard that the person did it. I'm like, really? You just talk to me that way? That in the moment, I don't think to be like, oh, since when do you know what it's like to be 35-year-old Marie? Yes, right, you don't. You don't know my hurts. You don't know what drives my passion to do what I'm trying to do. You don't know what drives my anxiety, my depression, my worries, did I say this too offensively? Did I say this wrong? Did I say that wrong? Am I a bad person for being blunt? And I know a lot of people, they're very, they like that I'm very blunt at, with the different things that I say, because they don't have a lot of people in their life that do that, or at least that don't do that and are afraid of the repercussions of doing that. I know a lot of people that say they wish there would be more people in the world and in their life that would say and do the kinds of things that I do or say to others, and they don't. Because people just, they have to dance around other people's feelings. They have to dance around other people's thoughts. It's 2023, people, and people should not be afraid to tell somebody else when they're being a ding-dong that they're being a ding-dong. We are 2023. If you're being a jerk, you should be able to say to that person, you're being a jerk. If you're being a dick, if you're being an ass, if you're being any of those negative things, someone in your life should be able to say, you're being X. Now, do you have to accept that they tell you that? No. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to accept it. However, you should have that one person in your life that tells you, you just made a airheaded move, you just made a mistake, you just did something you shouldn't have did. Okay? Trust me, I have multiple people in my life that do that for me. Do I like it? Not really. But the same goes for that person that can tell me what I'm doing wrong. You can bet your bottom that I will equally be like, really? You just said that? Really? You just did that? Really? You just promised 2 weeks ago you wouldn't do that again. And what'd you go and do? What did you just do? That's like, I have a friend who's had to say goodbye to someone very close to them lately. In fact, today, actually. And I will be supporting them through that, because that's the type of person that I am. Take it, leave it, whatever, I don't care. Suck it. I don't care. The person's my best friend, and I'm gonna be there for her. Because that's me. That's how I roll. Yeah. And that's how I would be with any of my friends if they needed something. Most of my close friends know that I have an open door policy. So you come, you open it. If it's unlocked and you come in, you're able to do that. If it's locked, just knock, and if I'm home, I'll let you in. But most of the time, at least if it's daylight outside, I don't bother locking my door unless I know there's a creeper in the neighborhood. And that's fine with me. But usually, come dinner time, my door's gonna be locked. I can almost guarantee you that. But either way, if any of my friends are struggling, any of them, whether I'm a close friend to you, I see you every day, or I only hang out with you once in a while, I have an open door policy, man. If you can't get in, you call me and you be like, Marie, are you home, or are you gonna be home? And if I am, or I'm going to be, you are welcome to come to that door. And I know there's at least one, maybe two people that will listen to this and know for a fact because they've done it multiple times. Came through that door and stayed with me and Daphne because they didn't feel safe to stay by themselves. I would much rather that than a phone call or to be told that they're no longer here because nobody would open up their door, their heart, and their mind to them and saying goodbye to them after they're put in a 6-foot hole. I've had my moments where I myself have wanted to be in a 6-foot hole instead of where I'm at today. And let me tell you, if I was in that hole, I would not have the podcast that you are listening to on a regular basis or sometimes basis or whenever you listen to this podcast. No, you are awesome. Okay? First and foremost. But yeah, if I gave in to my moments where, for example, in July, I went to a party and I talked to someone and I talked about how I had been diagnosed in the last couple of years officially with, with anxiety and depression. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm like, don't be. Don't be. And here's why I say don't be. I would much rather be open and honest about my struggles, because you never know who you're talking to. You never know what they're going through. And you might just talk to that one person that could be like, holy crap, I relate. Holy crap, I go through that too. I thought it was just me that went through that. You will be amazed at the people that will be open and honest with you. And I mean, hey, this world could use a lot more honesty. Just saying, okay? Without going into a whole bunch of stuff. Honesty is first and foremost the most needed thing, okay? So anyway, I had a friend, actually a family member, was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, you had that diagnosis. And here's what I have to say to that. No matter if you are a friend, a stranger, or family member, to me, or anybody, if someone is honest enough with you to tell you, I struggle, that's not something to feel sympathy about, okay? Feel honored, really, that they are willing to share that tidbit with you, okay? That is not, and I'm speaking from experience, okay? Hand to God, I'm speaking from experience. That is not an easy thing to admit. That is not an easy topic to talk about, because in 2023, there is still stigma, unfortunately, with mental health, disease, disability, diagnoses, whatever. Don't care. They all have stigma, and it's freaking 2023, people. I am 35 years old. I have dealt with emotional issues pretty much my whole life. I have dealt with traumas my whole life. In fact, I have a few that have actually become triggers for me, and it's really hard for me to get other people to understand why certain phrases, certain actions, blah, 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 set me off. My counselor understands them when I talk to her, and I try to work through them and then apply the things that we talk about to my everyday life. But the average Joe off the street ain't gonna understand that, no matter how hard you try. But if someone comes to you that loves you and knows you love them enough to say, hey, I've got bouts of depression, I got bouts of anxiety, I've got whatever, that is something to consider honor. Be honored that they're letting you into their inner circle, because that's not easy for someone to share. And hearing, oh, well, do you go outside when it's really nice? Because, that'll help. Okay? Yes, it does. However, it is very harmful to someone to hear that, because they just did the hard thing and opened up to you. And now you're pulling the card of, well, this is what you should do so you get better. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. There's not a one-stop shop fix for everybody that goes through depression, goes through anxiety, goes through grief, that goes through the hurts of life. There's no book out there even of how to do it and that it would work for everybody. If it was that simple, there wouldn't be diseases out there like anxiety, depression, fear, worry. I could go on, people, of different things, but I'm not going to. That can be saved for a whole another episode, okay? Maybe quite a few. Man, I'm gonna have to listen back to this episode and make notes. I got all sorts of good ideas flowing tonight. Dang, I'm impressed. Sorry, sidetracked. Back on topic. Okay, so what are some things you can do when someone's struggling that you know and love? Ask them. And if they don't know, trust me, checking in on them, just saying, hey, how's it going? That can mean the world to somebody. Trust me on that. Now, not everybody can get away with asking me how it's going, because there's certain people that ask, and they ask in an annoying way, and it makes me mad. But if I know their true intention behind asking, usually I don't get mad. But if you do it in an annoying tone, it can cause a whole new set of problems. Just talking from personal experience, okay? So be mindful of the words you are using with somebody when they are struggling. Telling them things, well, this too shall pass, get over it, it's happened before, it'll happen again, that's part of life, whatever you can come up with, okay? Don't be a negative Nelly, okay? That's not cool, okay? We don't want to be, Little House on the Prairie Nelly here. Not happening. Not going to help. What we do want, what would be helpful, maybe make that person a meal. Maybe ask them to go out to lunch. Maybe ask them to go for a walk. Maybe say, let's go for a drive, or let's go swimming, or whatever you can think of that might get them out of their house. And if they say yes, but they cancel last minute, remember, people, please do not take that personal. That's just the anxiety and the depression winning over that person. Now, I know my religious friends will be like, but then you're letting the devil win. You're letting Satan win. Please understand that it's not an exact science of a person getting better. Okay? It's just not. And for me personally, someone saying, oh, I'll pray for you so things get better. Depending on who you are, that might offend me. Depending on who you are. If I know you have potential of being a jerk, even if it was past and you haven't been a jerk in a while, that makes me very hard for me to trust that you would pray for me with good intentions. Okay? Just my own personal experience putting it out there, okay? The next thing I want to say is, it's okay to go sit with a person, even if you don't talk, even if you don't do something, just sit there with them. They'd be probably really appreciative of that. I know I am when I'm going through crap. You have no idea how hard it is to get out of bed, go pee, go poo if you gotta. When you not only deal with depression and anxiety, but I also deal with pain, and that makes it hard to want to get out of bed as well. But the main thing is, when I have depression or really bad anxiety times, I don't want to get out of bed for any reason. Like, zero. Thank you, Jesus, I have a really good friend who will come and make sure I get up, go to the bathroom, make sure I get up, go do whatever I need to do. I just lost train of thought, sorry. But I have a really good friend who right now needs me, and pretty soon I'm going to let her know she can come back, because I told her I was trying to record an episode real quick, and I should probably let her know that she can come back by me, because I had asked for some peace and quiet, so she went upstairs by her place for a little bit. But, sorry, I'm rambling again. One thing that really, and I know I've repeated myself, but I really want people to understand that you need to talk to the person that's struggling. You cannot assume. You cannot make decisions for them unless it comes to that point. There are points where that comes to a point. But you cannot look at them and say, buck up. Because it's just going to make them feel worse. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from personal experience, and I'm speaking from experience of watching others be told to buck up, and they don't. They go further down in their depression. They don't want to be outside in the outside world. Come September, I'm gonna love that summer's over. I love summer. Summer, don't get me wrong, is my favorite time of the year because I get a hell of a lot of time outside, and it's the best. I get to do things, I get to be with people that I love and care about. But come September, I'm gonna love being just me, my cat, maybe my best friend, that's if she's over, the three of us in my room doing absolutely nothing. If anything, watching a movie or watching a TV show. That's what I will be on to do, and not another damn thing. I can guarantee you that, because my depression is the type that it goes in spurts. So when each season changes, it's really hard for me. And fall is especially hard for me. I'm usually okay for the most part over winter. Spring's usually somewhat okay. But come August, which is where we are now, September, October, and especially November are going to be crappy months. They really are. They are going to be very emotional for me, and they always are. And I know that. So what can I do? I can do self-care. I can be prepared. I can have, maybe my favorite candy ready. I can have maybe my favorite food. Maybe make sure I have meals ahead of time. There's lots of things I can do. And I know I can do them. But it's getting the motivation to want to do those things. Because for me, I can say, oh, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap. I just got 8 things in front of me. Where am I even going to start? So, what do I do when that happens? I literally have to take that one thing and I literally have to be like, okay, here's step A, here's step B, here's step C, here's step 1, 2, 3, whatever. In order to get it done. Hey, that's okay. Okay? Just love yourself through it. And make sure you get somebody that will love you too. Hey, stay beautiful. Stay healthy. And make sure you have that one person that's special enough to you that you can count on to be there when you need them. And I will talk to you another time. Much love. Bye, everyone. Hey y'all, before it's a true goodbye, just want to remind you that Stitcher, if that's the platform you listen to me on, greatly appreciated. However, don't forget that August 29th, Stitcher becomes no more, and then it's just Pandora to the best of my knowledge. So, yeah, make sure you have Pandora to be able to listen to me. Or you can also listen to me on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. So those are your options as of right now. Any questions, feel free to email me. That'll be in the description, my email. Thanks. Love you all. Bye. I also have a blog. You can find it at Sweet Marie Thoughts. S on the end of thoughts. And S on the end of Marie. .wordpress.com. Again, that is Sweet SWEET Marie's MARIES Thoughts THOUGHTS .wordpress WORDPRESS.com.